What would the world look like today if Africa had never been colonized? It's a question most people avoid because if you answer it honestly, with data, with logic, with imagination, it unravels everything we thought we knew about progress, power, and possibility. Let's be clear, Africa was never behind, it was interrupted. For over 1,000 years, African civilizations were rising, building cities, writing legal codes, trading with the world, mastering metallurgy, astronomy, and architecture. Then came 400 years of slave trade, followed by 100 years of colonial rule. Borders carved with no consent, resources stolen, cultures banned, and systems broken. So, what if that never happened? Not what if no one ever touched Africa, but what if African development had been left to Africans, with trade, diplomacy, even migration, but no conquest, no foreign rule, no stolen future? What would Africa look like today? Let's start from the year 1884, the year of the Berlin Conference, when European powers sat around a table in Germany and divided Africa like a cake. Now imagine that moment never happened. No Berlin Conference, no scramble for Africa. With no colonization, Africa's borders might look totally different. Instead of artificial lines cutting through communities, languages, and ecosystems, we'd likely have large federations or regional empires that evolved over time, like the Oyo Empire, the Zulu Kingdom, the Ashanti Confederacy, or the Sokoto Caliphate. Over decades, some of these states might have merged, others might have split peacefully through negotiation, referendum, or civil reform, just like what happened in Europe. You'd see countries formed around real linguistic, cultural, and ecological cohesion, not French, English fault lines or colonial legacies. There would be fewer borders, more trade blocs, and stronger continental diplomacy, because the division that shaped modern African geopolitics would never have been forced into place. Urban centers and ancient cities thriving. Cities like Timbuktu, Kano, Aksum, and Great Zimbabwe, instead of being colonized, starved of resources, or rewritten, would have grown into megacities. We might be looking at a world where Timbuktu is a global university hub. Benin City is a leader in 3D urban planning. Mombasa is a Silicon Coast rivaling California. Johannesburg and Lagos are connected by high-speed rail. Cairo and Nairobi co-lead a Pan-African space program. Rather than exporting raw materials and importing finished goods, African cities would have developed their own manufacturing ecosystems, fashion industries, and cultural exports, shaping global trends instead of reacting to them. Education rooted in legacy, not disruption. One of the most devastating impacts of colonization was the interruption of African knowledge systems. Oral traditions were mocked, indigenous sciences were ignored, local languages were banned in classrooms. Now, imagine instead students learning mathematics in Yoruba, writing scientific theses in Amharic, or designing architecture with Adinkra principles as foundational design theory. University systems would have blended Islamic scholarship from West Africa, Christian theology from Aksum, and spiritual ethics from indigenous societies, resulting in a fusion that looks nothing like Western education models today. Instead of replacing local systems, Africa's knowledge would have evolved on its own terms, contributing unique paradigms to science, ethics, and innovation. Let's talk about resources, because this is where the numbers get serious. Colonialism extracted trillions in value. Gold, diamonds, oil, copper, coffee, cacao, cotton, taken without fair trade, reinvestment, or consent. If African nations had retained control of their natural resources from the 1800s onward, investing those profits into infrastructure, education, and local industry. Many of the richest countries on earth today would be African.